Good morning, my beautiful humans. My name is Anastasia and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful 4th of July weekend. Today I thought I was going to do something a little bit different since it's so beautiful out. Where I live it's going to be like 90 degrees all week long, so I'm really excited. I'm going to take advantage of this 4-day weekend and I'm going to redo some furniture. So if that sounds like something you guys might want to watch, stay tuned. Renaissance chalk paint to redo a shelf that my grandfather made me. I chalk painted it white already and I don't like the color. I just have too many white pieces in my house. When I first moved into my house I got so excited and I wanted to redo everything, and I only had 2 paint colors. I had chiffon cream and linen white, and they were both Rust-Oleum chalk paints, and I just went ham on everything because I was so excited. And then everything kind of turned out white, and I just have way too much white in my house. So this shade is Celadonite. It's kind of like a light green color. These pieces are going to be going in my office. I have a desk to do, a filing cabinet, and I also have this shelf that I'm going to do. And I hope that it turns out well. I really like chalk paint because it has a texture to it, and I can feel it. So you guys know, if you've been watching my channel, I have low vision and I like things that I am able to feel, so that's why I really like chalk paint. Plus it's really easy to put on and maneuver with. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to prep this piece by sanding it down with a sanding block. It's going to be like a 400 level. I think it's maybe a 410 or 420. I'm not sure. I can't read the side anymore because I've used it so much. It's just worn off. But it's a 400 level, which means it's way more fine. So I'm going to go ahead and sand this. And when you go in, you don't have to be too crazy. You just need to lightly go across the entire piece. A lot of times with chalk paint you don't even need to sand the piece. I'm just doing so because I feel like I put a little bit too much paint on this one, and it's a little bit gritty. I'm not sure if it's the type of brush I used or if it was the temperature out. You want to also make sure that the humidity is not too high when you're outside doing a piece, or that the temperature isn't, I believe, over like 80, I want to say 85. I think optimal painting temperature is like in the 70s, but I don't want to wait another 2 weeks to paint my piece. I'm just so excited. I want to get it done now. So I don't claim to be a pro. I just like to have fun with things. Once you rough up your piece, you want to take either some tack cloth or a wet paper towel and just get off that excess of dirt and just all that crap that you sanded off. Make sure that it's not soaking wet. You just want it to be a little bit damp. And the next thing that you want to do while your piece is drying from wiping it off is you want to shake your paint really well. So I just pour a little bit in my paint tray. I'm not exactly sure if this is the color I wanted. I kind of wanted something along the lines of a mint green, but slightly darker. I asked probably like 4 people what color this was, and even people that can see colors, pretty well, they're like, oh man, that's a hard one. So I'm not going to wear gloves because chalk paint comes off pretty easily. It's non-toxic, especially this brand. It's very safe, so that's another reason why I like it. So I'm just going to start with a little bit of paint. I'm going to put the top back on so I don't get any little bugs lost in there. I just grabbed this brush. I don't know what it is. It's probably like, 10 years old. I just grabbed it out of my Dad's paint drawer. We'll see how it works. Make sure before you start you get a cup of water to dip your brush in. I read and watched a couple YouTube videos that with chalk paint, when you dip your brush in water every now and then, it helps the paint go on smoother. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dip my brush in there and bring it off a little bit on the side, because I don't want it to be like sopping wet by any means. I just want it to be damp. And I brought out a paper towel too, so I can get off some excess water. And I'm just gonna go ahead and start. Usually I use a roller. I don't have one. I'm a little ill prepared today, but I really want to get this done. I don't want to wait, like I said, a couple weeks to get all my furniture done. I have to go back to school at the end of August, and I know I'm just not going to have time to do anything. So I'm taking the time that I have now and hoping that it comes out. So this is what it looks like. I just put a little bit on top. I'm not a big fan of brush strokes, so it's very hard for me to see if there's any brush strokes in this. So what I tend to do is I just kind of just go in a line so I know that I got everything, and maybe I'll go over it like twice to make sure that there's no bubbles and things like that. But I'm hoping that this comes out the color that I want it to. We'll see. Getting in between these shelves is the hardest for me because I can't get right up on it, because I would have to put my head in here in order to see what I'm doing, and then I would get paint everywhere, and it's not conducive, and it just wouldn't work. So what I'm doing when I go inside is I just try to take note of where I put the paint and just pray and hope that I get all of the spots. Definitely be a little tedious and a little bit annoying. That is definitely why I'm putting on 2 coats. I might put on 3 coats just to make sure that I do get everything, because I know that I'm very liable to miss a spot, and I really want this to be a nice pretty piece. I really am already liking the color, because when I see it, whether I'm seeing it in the correct context or not, it's very peaceful and calming. And since I'm going to be putting this in my office where I'm going to be doing college algebra and all those things that make you stressed out, I just think it's going to be a nice environment, and I'm excited to just see what everything looks like when it's all done. And if you guys want to see me work on any other pieces, I do like to restain furniture. I like to use gel stain to do that, because it's much easier in my opinion. I have a table at my parents' that I am working on. I'm trying to do like a French country with like very white chairs and tables with really dark tops, and I don't have it finished yet. I actually messed up on it, which I have messed up on a lot of pieces. Just trying to get the feel of how to do it, and everything's trial and error. Just because you don't do it right the first time does not mean that you can't do it. That's not what that means at all. I feel that the only way that you can't do something is because you're not trying. So just keep trying, you know. You're not failing, you're just figuring out ways that it didn't work. I believe that is a Thomas Jefferson quote or a Thomas Edison quote, but I think it's Thomas Jefferson, and I really, really liked it. And I think it was in regards to inventing the light bulb, and forgive me, I can't remember who did that, if that was Edison or Jefferson at this moment in time, but the quote was in regards to that, and I think he did it over 300 times before he finally got it right. And he said, you know, I didn't fail that many times, I just figured out ways that it wasn't going to work. So I really, really like that. So You guys can literally do anything, almost anything that you want to do. You know, some things, I mean, I'm not saying that you can be a brain surgeon if you're blind, or, you know, there's just some things that aren't going to happen. But most things, if you have passion for it and you're actually trying to do it, and you want to do it, and you have, you know, reason, like a good reason behind it that you want to do it, that drive will eventually get you where you want to be. So, just going off on a little tangent there, but I think it was a good tangent. There's the first coat. I found that the best way to get inside was to actually put it on the back and kind of go in that way. The can said to wait an hour for it to dry, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll be back and I'm going to put the second coat on. So it's been an hour. I came back and I took that same sanding block and I went over just a couple spots where I felt that there was some drippage, and I got rid of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to put in my second coat. Here is the product with the second coat. It looks really good. I'm really happy with it. I think that I actually like the color. If it darkens up a little bit, I'll be fine with that too. But I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. I'm going to let this sit all night, and tomorrow I'm going to put the matte top coat on. Alright, good morning guys. It is Sunday. I have my tea and I'm ready to get this finished today. Yesterday I put another light layer on. I didn't exactly need to put 3 coats on, but I did notice that I did miss a couple spots, so I touched those up. I had a couple spots of drippage, so I took that 400 grit light sandpaper and I just got that off and I repainted. So I let it sit overnight, and I'm gonna go ahead and start with the matte clear coat. I'm going to be using the Rust-Oleum chalked matte clear coat. I also got this on Amazon. It was, I believe, $16, $17. It was pretty cheap. It has kind of a milky consistency, and it says to put at least 2 coats on, and I think I'm going to be putting on 3 actually. I'm going to be taking the same brush that I used for the chalk paint, and I'm just going to go ahead and dip it into the can. I'm not going to pour it out. And just put a light layer on top. And this is supposed to dry clear. I'm hoping that it does. And what I mean by putting on 3 coats, like I'm going to put 3 coats on here. On the sides I'll probably put 2 in order to save some product, because I'm not going to be placing items like, you know, on the sides. So I don't believe that they'll need as much coverage. What I did read about chalk paint is that it's very, very porous, so the first coat definitely gets all sucked up in there. So you want to at least put 2 coats on. I have the first coat on, so now we need to wait 2 hours before we put the second coat on. And when I come back, I should be all done. So my final thoughts are that I really enjoy the Renaissance chalk paint a lot more than the Rust-Oleum chalk paint. It's not that the Rust-Oleum is bad, it's just that I personally enjoy the finish of the Renaissance chalk paint a lot better. They have a lot more colors. I like the way that it goes on better. The feel is a lot less grainy, but it still is textured, and I really like that. Like I said, I like to be able to feel my furniture. I know it's kind of weird, but when you have low vision, feeling things is very important. I did use the Rust-Oleum top coat, and that is the first time that I used it. I really don't know about the durability, but I liked that it went on so thin, and you really had control with it, and it did dry clear, so I was happy with that. And I will let you guys know down in the description how it wore. I'm thinking that it's going to do really, really well. I have seen good reviews on it. I've never used wax before. If you guys have, let me know if you liked it down below. I'm curious. I'm just a little nervous about using wax is just a little intimidating for me. But it's all done. If you guys would like to see more videos like this, please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like to see. I make new videos every other Sunday. Thanks for stopping by.